If you're the kind of person who wants a setup that actually works night after night, that won't make you spend hours tweaking every time you move a gig, and that feels like a solid investment rather than a fancy list of specs, you're probably feeling a little hesitant right now. The market is full of controllers that promise 4 decks and speakers that brag about 2,000 watts, but the reality is you need something that stays reliable when you're on the road, that integrates smoothly with the little things you already have, and that doesn't leave you wondering whether you overspent. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this review I'll walk through what it actually feels like to bring the Denon DJ-SC-Live 4 controller together with the ALTO TS408 powered PA pair into a real-world DJ environment, point out where the value really shows up, and tell you exactly who should click add to cart and who might be better off looking elsewhere. First off, let's talk about the core promise, a single-box solution that lets you run a 4-deck mix and power a venue without needing a separate amp or mixer. On paper that sounds perfect for a mobile DJ or a small club owner who wants to keep their gear list short. The reality, after a few evenings of actually setting it up, is that the controller really does behave like a compact performance hub. The 7-inch HD touchscreen replaces the endless scrolling through menus on a laptop. You can pull up 4 decks, cue points, and effect controls with just a tap or a swipe. In practice, that means you spend less time hunting through a laptop screen and more time staying in the groove. I tested the interface with a typical 2-hour gig, and the menu latency was essentially nil, no awkward pauses when you switch from deck A to deck B, and the on-screen waveform stayed in sync with the tracks even when the Wi-Fi stream was pulling songs from a phone library. Now, the PA side. The ALTO TS408 speakers are equipped with a built-in 2000W amplifier, and they really do produce a noticeable punch when you push them to a mid-size venue, around 150,200 people. What matters most to a DJ is not just raw wattage but how clean that power translates into the room. In my test at a local bar, the bass stayed tight without the dreaded boom feel that cheap 2 kilowatt speakers can give you, and the mids cut through the chatter of a full bar. The built-in DSP does a decent job of flattening the response across the frequency range, which means you don't have to spend a lot of time dialing in EQ on a separate mixer. The speakers also have useful built-in Wi-Fi, so you can stream directly from Spotify or your phone without a laptop. That's a real time saver when you're doing a last-minute set and don't have a full media library on a USB stick. One feature that often gets overlooked until you actually need it is the integrated DMX lighting control. The Denon controller lets you assign lighting cues to specific points in a track. I tried a simple light show sync for a birthday party gig, and the results were respectable lights faded in and out exactly when the beat dropped, and the whole process was handled from the same touchscreen that was already controlling the mix. You won't get a full light show rig, but for small venues or home parties it eliminates the need for a separate DMX controller, saving both space and budget. So who is this combo really for? If you are a mobile DJ who travels with a single case, a small venue owner who wants a plug-and-play sound system, or a hobbyist who wants to practice DJing without tying yourself down to a laptop, the Denon SC-Live 4 plus ALTO TS408 bundle makes a lot of sense. The all-in-one design means you can pull out a case, set up the controller on a table, drop the speakers where they'll stand, plug the power cords, and you're ready to go. The Wi-Fi streaming and DMX integration add extra utility without forcing you to buy separate gear. On the other hand, if you already own a professional mixer, separate PA amplifiers, and a dedicated lighting console, you'll probably find the built-in features limiting. Also, if you regularly play larger venues, over 300 people, where you need multiple speaker stacks and subwoofers, the 2000W rating will feel underpowered compared to a traditional line array system. In those scenarios, it's better to view the Denon bundle as a starter kit rather than a final solution. Practical strengths are the ones that show up in everyday use. The first is the ease of connectivity. You have a single USB-C cable that handles MIDI data, audio output, and power for the controller, and the speakers take standard XLR inputs that can be daisy-chained to the controller's master out. That eliminates a tangle of cables in the back of a venue. Second, the wireless streaming capability saves you from carrying a laptop or a USB drive for every set. I was able to pull tracks directly from a phone playlist, and the audio kept its quality, no noticeable compression.